There comes a time when everything you've desired, dreamed of, and worked for feels like it's just out of reach. It's in those moments that you must realize everything you want is about to appear all at once. This isn't a promise made lightly. It's a fundamental truth of how our world works. But how does it happen? How do you shift from waiting for your dreams to living them? The answer is simple. You must become the version of yourself who already has everything you desire. Right now, this very moment. Imagination is the cornerstone of manifestation, a powerful force that shapes reality in ways we often underestimate. It is through imagination that we create, envision, and ultimately experience the life we desire. While many see imagination as a fleeting daydream or a form of escapism, it is in truth the creative force that molds the fabric of our lives. The mind does not differentiate between what is real and what is imagined when it comes to shaping your experiences. Imagination is the tool through which we plant the seeds of our desires, and with the right nurturing, these seeds grow into the reality we live. When we engage our imagination, we are not just indulging in fantasy. We are actively participating in the creation of our future. Every great invention, every innovation, and every transformative idea in history began as a thought in someone's imagination. The same applies to our personal lives. If you can see it in your mind's eye, feel it as real in your heart, and sustain that image with persistence, you can bring it into physical existence. This is not mere wishful thinking, but a fundamental law of how reality is constructed. The process begins with clarity. To manifest something into your life, you must first know what it is that you want. Many people struggle with this first step because they allow their imagination to be hijacked by fear, doubt, and limitation. Instead of focusing on what they truly desire, they fill their minds with thoughts of what they don't want or can't have. But imagination works in both directions. If you constantly imagine negative outcomes, you will create a reality filled with those outcomes. Therefore, it's essential to direct your imagination consciously toward the life you want to create. Once you have clarity, you must vividly imagine your desires as though they are already fulfilled. This is where the true power of imagination comes into play. It's not enough to casually think about what you want. You must immerse yourself in the experience of having it. Close your eyes and step into that reality in your mind. See the details. What does your life look like? What are you doing? How does it feel to have everything you've ever wanted? The more detailed and sensory-rich your imagination, the more powerful the manifestation becomes. This is because the mind, especially the subconscious mind, responds to images and feelings as though they are real. When you fully engage your imagination in this way, your mind begins to believe that what you are imagining is not just possible, but inevitable. The emotional component is key here. You must not only see your desires in your imagination, but feel them with conviction. Feel the joy, the excitement, the gratitude of having already received what you want. This feeling anchors your desire into your subconscious, which then begins to work tirelessly to bring that reality into your experience. The subconscious mind is incredibly powerful, but it doesn't respond to mere intellectual concepts. It responds to emotions, to feelings. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you are aligning yourself energetically with the outcome you want, and your subconscious mind moves into action to manifest it. But imagination is not a one-time event. Manifestation requires persistence. You must return to your imagined reality over and over again, especially when the external world seems to contradict what you're creating internally. This is where many people falter. They allow the evidence of their current reality to weaken their imagination. But the truth is, the outer world is a reflection of past thoughts, beliefs, and imaginings. To change your external reality, you must first change your internal state. That means continuing to use your imagination to see, feel, and live in the reality you want, even when it seems like nothing is happening. This brings us to the most misunderstood aspect of imagination, its relationship with time. Many believe that manifestation takes time, but the truth is that everything you desire already exists in potential form. Imagination is the bridge between that potential and its manifestation in physical form. When you imagine something as real, you are collapsing the distance between where you are and where you want to be. Time becomes irrelevant because in the realm of imagination, everything is happening now. The more you can live in that imagined state, the faster your desires will materialize. Imagination is therefore not just a tool for fleeting fantasies or idle daydreams. It is the engine of creation, the mechanism through which we bring the unseen into the seen. By using it consciously and persistently, You tap into the limitless potential of the universe and align yourself with the reality you desire. When used properly, imagination transforms your life into a reflection of your highest vision, bringing everything you want into existence. To truly grasp the power of manifestation, one must understand the concept of living in the end. This principle is not just about wishful thinking or hoping for a better future. It is about embodying the reality of what you desire as though it has already occurred. Living in the end means adopting the mental and emotional state of having already received what you want, even if there is no physical evidence of it yet. By doing this, you align your inner world with the reality you are seeking, which causes your external world to shift and reflect that inner state. Living in the end begins with a fundamental belief that your desires are not some distant possibility, but an inevitable reality that is already here, simply waiting to manifest in physical form. This requires a shift in perception. Instead of seeing your desires as something you need to chase or work hard to achieve, you must see them as something that is already yours. Your job is not to make them happen, but to step into the version of yourself that already has them. Imagine for a moment that you are living in the life you've always dreamed of. Picture yourself waking up each day in the home you've always wanted, surrounded by the people and circumstances that bring you joy and fulfillment. How do you feel? How do you carry yourself? What thoughts occupy your mind? When you live in the end, you begin to adopt these feelings, behaviors, and thoughts right now, before any outward change has taken place. You are no longer waiting for the manifestation to occur to feel happy, successful, or fulfilled. You feel those things now because you know that your external world will catch up with your internal state. The power of living in the end lies in the way it transforms your consciousness. By imagining your desires as already fulfilled, you train your mind to focus on the outcome you want rather than on the lack of it. Too often, people get caught up in focusing on what they don't have or what they think is missing from their lives. This focus on lack only perpetuates the experience of not having. Living in the end, however, shifts your focus entirely. You no longer dwell on the absence of your desire, but on the joy and gratitude of having it. This shift in focus is crucial, because the mind responds to what you consistently imagine and feel. Your thoughts, beliefs, and emotions create a vibrational state that attracts similar experiences into your life. When you live in the end, you are emitting a frequency that matches the reality of your desires, and in doing so, you draw that reality to you. It's like tuning into a specific radio station. If you want to hear classical music, you wouldn't tune into a rock station. Similarly, if you want to experience abundance, success, or love, you must tune your thoughts and emotions to the frequency of having those things, not the frequency of wanting or needing them. One of the most powerful aspects of living in the end is the way it bypasses the limitations of time. In the physical world, we are conditioned to believe that things take time to materialize. We expect to wait for our desires to unfold in a linear fashion, step by step. But in the realm of consciousness, time is an illusion. Everything exists in the present moment, including your desired reality. When you live in the end, you collapse the gap between where you are and where you want to be, because in your mind you are already there. The more you can hold on to that feeling of already having, the faster your desires will manifest in the physical world. This doesn't mean that you will see immediate results in every case. Manifestation often requires patience and persistence, but when you live in the end, you are not attached to how or when your desires will appear. You are so absorbed in the feeling of already having what you want that the need for physical proof becomes secondary. You trust that the universe is working behind the scenes to bring your desire into form, and because you are living from the end, you are no longer worried about whether it will happen. You know it will, because in your mind it already has. Living in the end also changes the way you interact with the world. Instead of approaching life from a place of neediness or desperation, you approach it from a place of confidence and abundance. You no longer seek validation or approval from others because you already feel validated and fulfilled within yourself. This shift in mindset not only accelerates the manifestation process, but it also changes the way people and opportunities respond to you. When you embody the energy of already having what you want, you become a magnet for experiences that align with that energy. One of the challenges of living in the end is maintaining that state of consciousness when the external world shows no signs of change. It's easy to slip back into old patterns of doubt, fear, and frustration when things don't seem to be happening the way you expect. But this is where persistence comes in. You must continue to live in the end, even when it feels like nothing is happening. Trust that your internal state is shaping your reality, and that what you desire is on its way. The outer world will eventually conform to your inner vision, but only if you hold steady in your belief and feeling of already having. It's important to remember that living in the end is not about pretending or denying reality. You are not ignoring your current circumstances. You are simply choosing to focus on a higher reality, one that aligns with your desires. By doing this, you are not escaping the present moment, but elevating it. You are bringing the future into the now, and by living from that place of fulfillment, you accelerate the process of manifestation. Ultimately, living in the end is about mastering the art of feeling. It's about feeling the joy, gratitude, and satisfaction of having what you want, regardless of what the outside world looks like. When you can consistently feel these emotions, you are living from a place of power. You are no longer controlled by circumstances, but are the creator of them. And it is in this state of creation that everything you desire begins to move toward you effortlessly and naturally. By embracing the concept of living in the end, you step into the version of yourself that already has everything you've ever wanted. This mindset shifts your energy, your actions, and your entire experience of life. Rather than waiting for your desires to come true, you live as though they already have, and in doing so, you bring them into reality. The present moment is often misunderstood, perceived as just a fleeting point in time between the past and future. But in truth, the present moment contains everything. It is the only time in which we can experience life, the only moment in which we can act, think, or feel. Everything that has ever happened or will ever happen unfolds in the now. The present moment is rich with infinite possibilities, holding within it the seeds of every potential outcome. When we fully grasp the power of the present, we realize that our capacity to create, manifest, and transform our lives lies not in the distant future, but in the here and now. At any given moment, an infinite number of realities exist as potentialities. These realities are not constrained by the passage of time or the circumstances of the past. They exist simultaneously, ready to be brought into form through our thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. When you understand that everything you desire is already contained in the present, you shift from a mindset of waiting to a mindset of receiving. There is no future moment where your dreams will come true. They are already available to you, waiting for you to align with them in the now. This understanding of the present moment requires a shift in how we perceive time. Most people view time as linear, a constant progression from past to future. They believe that their desires and goals will be fulfilled at some later point, once they've worked hard enough or once the right conditions have aligned. But this way of thinking places our power outside of the present moment, always just out of reach. The truth, however, is that time is not linear in the way we often think. Everything exists in the eternal now, and the future is not something we need to wait for. It is something we create in the present moment through our state of being. When you focus your awareness on the present moment, you begin to realize that it is a point of access to everything you want. In this moment, you can choose how to think, how to feel, and how to act. The power of choice is only available now, and the choices you make now shape your future. If you are constantly focused on what you don't have or what might go wrong, you are creating a future that mirrors those thoughts. But if you focus on what you desire and feel as though it is already yours, you bring that future into being. The present moment is the gateway to your power. This is because your thoughts and emotions, which create your reality, only exist in the present. You cannot think or feel in the past, nor can you project your feelings into the future. You can only think and feel right now. So if you are waiting for the future to bring you happiness, success, or fulfillment, you will always be waiting. Instead, you must recognize that those experiences can only be accessed now. By feeling successful, happy, or fulfilled in the present, you are effectively drawing those experiences into your reality. The present moment also contains the power of awareness. When we become fully present, we bring our awareness to the here and now, unclouded by worries about the past or anxieties about the future. This heightened state of awareness allows us to observe our thoughts and emotions more clearly. We can recognize when we are caught in limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns and consciously choose to shift our focus to something more empowering. In this way, Awareness in the present moment is a form of liberation. It frees us from the mental and emotional traps that keep us stuck in undesirable circumstances. This level of awareness requires practice, because the mind tends to wander. We are often distracted by memories of the past or concerns about the future, and these distractions pull us out of the present moment. But when we make a conscious effort to bring ourselves back to the now, we find that this moment is where all our power resides. It is where we can choose new thoughts, create new emotions, and therefore craft a new reality. When we live in the present, we also begin to appreciate the fullness of life. Often we are so focused on what's coming next that we miss the beauty and abundance that already exists around us. We may be so caught up in achieving future goals that we forget to enjoy the journey. But when we bring our attention to the present, we start to see that everything we need is already here. The opportunities, relationships, and experiences that are aligned with our desires are often closer than we think, waiting to be noticed. By being fully present, we open ourselves to receiving these gifts. The present moment is not a place of lack, but a place of abundance. It holds within it the potential for everything we could ever desire. Whether it's love, success, wealth, or personal growth, it all exists in the now, waiting for us to align with it. The key is to stop looking outside of the present for fulfillment and instead realize that fulfillment is something we create from within. When we focus on feeling abundant, grateful, and empowered in the present moment, we activate those feelings and draw more of those experiences into our lives. It is also important to understand that the present moment is fluid, not static. Each moment flows into the next, and with every new moment, we are given a fresh opportunity to choose again. This means that we are never stuck in our circumstances, no matter how challenging they may seem. In each moment, we have the power to think a new thought, feel a new emotion, and take a new action. And it is through these choices that we can shift our entire reality, one moment at a time. This is why it is so crucial to stay present. The future is not something we wait for, it is something we create with our present choices. If we are constantly focused on the future, we miss the opportunity to create it. But by staying in the now and aligning our thoughts and emotions with what we desire, we bring that future into being. The present moment is all there is. It is the point from which all creation flows. Everything you have ever wanted or will ever want already exists in the present moment, waiting for you to tap into it. The more you bring your awareness to the now, the more you will see that your power to create, manifest, and experience life is already within you, fully accessible in this very moment. All you have to do is align with it, and everything you desire will unfold naturally, effortlessly, and perfectly in your reality. Feeling is the secret to unlocking the power of manifestation. It is through feeling that we bring our desires to life, transforming thoughts and imaginations into lived experiences. While it is easy to get caught up in the details of what we want and how to get it, the true key lies in how we feel about those desires. The emotional state we embody, the way we feel in relation to what we want, is the bridge that connects our inner visions with their outward manifestation. When we feel something deeply, our subconscious mind absorbs that feeling as reality. This is because the subconscious does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It responds only to the emotions and impressions we feed it. If we repeatedly feel joy, abundance, and success, the subconscious mind takes these feelings as truth and works to bring them into physical form. On the other hand, if we constantly feel fear, doubt, or lack, the subconscious will interpret these feelings as our reality and reinforce them in our outer world. Therefore, feeling is the language through which we communicate our desires to the deeper, creative part of our mind. The power of feeling is tied to the fact that emotions are much stronger motivators than thoughts alone. Thoughts can shift and change rapidly, but feelings have a lasting impact on our psyche. When we feel something, we embody it in the present moment, and that feeling begins to shape our actions, beliefs, and behaviors. For example, if you truly feel successful, you will begin to think, act, and make decisions like a successful person. Your actions will align with that feeling, and opportunities will naturally come to support it. In contrast, if you feel unworthy or incapable, you will make choices that reflect those feelings, and your life will mirror that sense of limitation. This is why it's essential to cultivate feelings that match the reality we wish to create. It's not enough to simply think about what we want or create detailed plans. We must feel as though our desires are already fulfilled even before we see any evidence in the physical world. By generating the feeling of already having what we want, we bring ourselves into vibrational harmony with that reality. This is the secret of manifestation, to feel now what you would feel if your desires were already realized. The practice of feeling as though your desires are already fulfilled involves more than just imagining an outcome. It requires truly stepping into the emotional experience of that outcome, embodying the joy, peace, or excitement it brings. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, it's not enough to simply think about being wealthy. You must feel the security, freedom, and empowerment that comes with financial abundance. When you generate these feelings, you shift your inner state to match the frequency of wealth, and this inner alignment draws corresponding outer experiences. Feelings are powerful because they activate the subconscious mind. While the conscious mind may doubt or resist, the subconscious responds directly to emotion. This is why it's important to persist in feeling as though your desire is already fulfilled, even when outer circumstances appear unchanged. The outer world is always a reflection of our inner state, but there is often a time delay between the shift in our feelings and the corresponding changes in the physical world. By consistently maintaining the feeling of fulfillment, you give the subconscious the instruction it needs to bring about the desired outcome. Ultimately, feeling is the mechanism through which we transform our desires into reality. It allows us to bypass the limitations of logic and reasoning, tapping into a deeper, more creative part of ourselves. When we learn to cultivate and sustain feelings that align with our desires, we unlock the secret to manifestation. By mastering our emotions and choosing to feel as though we already have what we want, we become powerful creators of our reality. Everything begins with feeling, for it is the secret that turns dreams into reality. Belief is the foundation upon which our reality is built. It shapes the lens through which we see the world, guiding our actions, influencing our thoughts, and determining what we perceive as possible or impossible. Our external experiences are, in many ways, a direct reflection of our internal belief system. What we believe to be true becomes the blueprint for how we interact with the world and what we ultimately manifest in our lives. Whether we are conscious of it or not, belief plays a central role in creating the circumstances that surround us. At its core, belief is more than just a thought or an idea. It is a deeply held conviction that operates beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. Beliefs are formed over time, shaped by our experiences, upbringing, culture, and the stories we tell ourselves. Once a belief is ingrained, it acts as a filter, allowing only information and experiences that confirm that belief to enter our awareness. For example, if someone believes that they are not good enough, they will subconsciously seek out experiences and evidence that validate this belief, reinforcing the idea that they are inadequate. Conversely, if someone believes they are worthy and capable, they will attract opportunities and relationships that affirm their sense of self-worth. This is why it is said that belief shapes reality. The mind is incredibly powerful, and it has the ability to create a world that aligns with whatever beliefs we hold. If you believe that life is full of opportunity, you will see opportunities everywhere. If you believe that the world is a harsh and unforgiving place, your experiences will mirror that belief. The circumstances you encounter are, to a large extent, a reflection of the beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you. One of the most profound ways that belief shapes reality is through its influence on perception. Our beliefs determine what we notice and what we ignore. Two people can look at the same situation and see completely different things depending on their beliefs. For example, someone who believes in abundance might see an opportunity in a situation that another person, who believes in scarcity, views as a setback. The difference in their perceptions is not due to the situation itself, but to the beliefs each person holds. In this way, beliefs act as a filter, coloring how we interpret and respond to the world. Belief also shapes behavior. What we believe about ourselves and the world influences the choices we make, the risks we take, and the actions we are willing to pursue. If you believe that success is possible for you, you are more likely to take the necessary steps to achieve it. You will pursue opportunities, invest in your growth, and remain persistent in the face of challenges. On the other hand, if you believe that success is out of reach, you may hesitate to take action, avoid risks, or give up when faced with obstacles. Your beliefs dictate your willingness to engage with life and go after what you want. Perhaps one of the most powerful aspects of belief is its ability to create self-fulfilling prophecies. When you believe something strongly enough, you unconsciously behave in ways that bring that belief to life. If you believe you are destined for failure, you may sabotage your efforts, make decisions that lead to poor outcomes, or fail to recognize opportunities for success. In this way, your belief becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, confirming what you already thought to be true. Similarly, when you believe in your ability to succeed, you will take actions that lead to success, creating a cycle of positive reinforcement. This is why it is so important to examine and consciously choose the beliefs you hold. Many of our beliefs are inherited from others or shaped by past experiences, and they may not serve us in the present. Limiting beliefs, in particular, can keep us trapped in a cycle of fear, doubt, and lack, preventing us from achieving our full potential. To create the life you desire, you must first become aware of your beliefs and ask yourself whether they are aligned with the reality you want to create. If they are not, it is possible to change them. Changing beliefs is not always easy, as they are often deeply rooted in our subconscious. However, it is entirely possible through awareness, repetition, and the willingness to challenge old patterns of thinking. By consciously choosing new beliefs that align with your desired reality and consistently affirming them through thought, feeling, and action, you can begin to reshape your life. Over time, your new beliefs will become just as ingrained as your old ones, and your reality will shift to reflect them. Belief is the starting point for all creation. It forms the foundation of our thoughts, feelings, actions, and experiences. When we recognize the power of belief and take responsibility for the beliefs we hold, we step into our true creative power. Our reality is not something that happens to us. It is something we actively shape through the beliefs we choose to adopt and nurture. Persistence in assumption is one of the most powerful principles in manifesting your desired reality. It is the steadfast holding of a belief or assumption, despite external appearances or temporary setbacks. The essence of this principle is the recognition that the external world is a reflection of our internal state of consciousness, and by maintaining a consistent assumption, we can influence and ultimately change that external reality. The key is to persist in your assumption until it hardens into fact. Assumption is more than just a fleeting thought. It is the firm conviction that something is already true, even if there is no physical evidence to support it. The world around us is shaped by the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs we hold, and these inner states are mirrored back to us through our experiences. However, the challenge arises when we hold an assumption that does not immediately manifest in the physical world. In these moments, doubt, fear, or impatience can creep in, tempting us to abandon our assumption. But this is precisely when persistence becomes critical. Persistence in assumption requires unwavering faith in the unseen. It demands that we continue to hold the belief that our desire is already fulfilled, even when circumstances seem to suggest otherwise. This is not about ignoring reality or pretending that challenges do not exist. Rather, it is about acknowledging that reality is fluid and can be shaped by our inner state. By maintaining a consistent assumption, we are actively influencing the world around us, even if the results are not immediately visible. The delay between our assumption and its physical manifestation is often a test of our persistence and faith. The importance of persistence lies in the fact that our thoughts and assumptions are not always immediately reflected in the external world. There is often a time lag between when we adopt a new assumption and when it becomes visible in our reality. This time lag can lead to frustration or doubt if we expect instant results. But just as a seed takes time to grow into a plant, so too does our assumption take time to manifest in the physical world. The key is to remain consistent in our belief during this period of growth, knowing that the manifestation is on its way, even if we cannot yet see it. Our external world is constantly shifting and changing in response to our internal state. Every thought we entertain, every emotion we feel, and every assumption we hold is sending out a signal to the universe, drawing corresponding experiences back to us. If we persist in a negative assumption such as believing we are unworthy or incapable, we will continue to attract experiences that reinforce that belief. But if we persist in a positive assumption, such as believing we are worthy of success or love, we will eventually see that assumption reflected in our lives. The critical factor is consistency. Our assumptions must be maintained over time, especially when outer circumstances challenge them. Persistence also helps us overcome the deeply ingrained patterns and beliefs that have shaped our lives up to this point. Many of the assumptions we hold have been reinforced over years or even decades, and they have created our current reality. Changing these assumptions requires consistent effort and focus. If we only hold a new assumption for a short period before reverting to old patterns, we will not see lasting change. But if we continue to persist in our new assumption, even when the old patterns try to reassert themselves, we will eventually break free from those limiting beliefs and create a new reality. Persistence in assumption aligns with the understanding that the universe responds to our energy and frequency. When we persist in a positive assumption, we are raising our vibrational frequency to match the reality we desire. The more we embody the feeling of already having what we want, the more we attract that reality to us. This is why it is so important to not only think about our assumption, but to feel it deeply, as if it were already true. By persisting in this feeling, we align ourselves with the outcome we desire and accelerate its manifestation. Persistence also builds resilience. Life is full of challenges and obstacles, but those who persist in their assumptions are not swayed by temporary setbacks. They understand that challenges are part of the process and do not allow these obstacles to shake their belief in their desired outcome. Instead, they see setbacks as opportunities to strengthen their faith and commitment to their assumption. This resilience is what ultimately leads to success, as it allows us to keep moving forward, even in the face of adversity. Persistence in assumption is about maintaining a firm belief in the fulfillment of our desires, regardless of external circumstances. It requires unwavering faith, consistent focus, and the ability to hold on to our assumptions even when results are not immediate. By persisting in our assumption, we shape the world around us and bring our desires into physical reality. The key is to trust the process, remain patient, and know that every thought and feeling we hold is contributing to the creation of our future. Through persistence, we harness the power of our mind to turn assumptions into facts and dreams into reality. The focus of our thoughts is one of the most powerful factors in shaping our reality. Whatever we consistently direct our attention towards grows and expands in our lives. Focusing on what we want, rather than on what we lack, is a crucial practice in manifesting our desires and achieving fulfillment. This shift in focus allows us to align with abundance, possibility, and success, rather than reinforcing feelings of scarcity and limitation. The energy we give to our desires determines whether they come to fruition or remain distant dreams. When we focus on what we lack, we are essentially giving energy to the very things we do not want. This can happen in subtle ways: worrying about not having enough money, feeling anxious about relationships that aren't working, or dwelling on personal insecurities. These thoughts of lack create a mental environment dominated by scarcity, and because our minds are powerful, what we focus on tends to expand. If we constantly focus on what's missing, we attract more of the same, more situations that highlight absence, inadequacy, and deficiency. When we focus on what we want, we shift our attention toward possibility and growth. This simple but profound shift in focus changes our emotional state, our perception of reality, and ultimately the actions we take. When we think about what we desire, we begin to imagine solutions, opportunities, and pathways that align with those desires. Our attention becomes a magnet for positive outcomes. The mind, now oriented toward abundance, begins to seek out ways to bring those desires to life. Focusing on what we want allows us to feel empowered. It cultivates an inner sense of control and agency, where we are no longer passively accepting circumstances but actively choosing the direction of our lives. When we focus on our desires with clarity and confidence, we send a message to our subconscious mind and the universe that we are ready to receive. This readiness is key because it sets in motion the internal and external processes that lead to manifestation. Another important aspect of focusing on what we want is the emotional shift that accompanies it. Thinking about what we want generates positive emotions: joy, excitement, and anticipation. These high vibrational emotions are essential for attracting positive outcomes. They create an energetic frequency that matches the reality we desire, making it easier for those desires to flow into our lives. In contrast, focusing on lack generates negative emotions like frustration, sadness, or fear, which lowers our vibrational state and keeps us stuck in undesirable situations. One of the challenges in shifting focus from lack to desire is the tendency of the mind to dwell on problems. The human brain is wired to seek out and solve issues, which often results in overemphasizing what's not working. However, this pattern can be broken with conscious effort. By consistently redirecting our thoughts toward what we want, rather than what's wrong, we begin to retrain our brain. This practice of focusing on desire requires persistence, but over time it becomes more natural, and the mind begins to automatically prioritize possibilities over problems. This shift in focus also influences how we interact with the world. When we focus on what we want, we approach situations with optimism and openness. We are more likely to notice opportunities, meet people who can help us, and take actions that move us closer to our goals. Our entire demeanor changes. We become more attractive to others because our energy is positive and inviting. People are drawn to those who exude confidence and clarity about what they want, and this often results in receiving the support and resources needed to achieve our desires. Focusing on what we want helps us stay solution-oriented. Instead of getting bogged down by obstacles, we remain focused on the end goal. This mindset cultivates resilience because challenges are seen as temporary setbacks, not permanent barriers. When the mind is focused on the desired outcome, it becomes easier to navigate through difficulties, as we are less likely to be derailed by negative circumstances. We maintain a sense of direction, and this focus propels us forward. It's also important to recognize that focusing on what we want doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending that challenges don't exist. It means choosing to place our primary attention on what's possible, rather than getting stuck in the limitations of the present moment. This focus creates momentum, pushing us towards solutions and creative ways to overcome obstacles. It's about shifting from a scarcity mindset to one of abundance, trusting that what we desire is attainable and that the universe is capable of delivering it. Focusing on what we want empowers us to become creators of our reality rather than victims of circumstance. It helps us align with our desires, attract positive outcomes, and maintain an emotional state that supports growth and fulfillment. By consistently directing our attention to our goals rather than our limitations, we allow space for our dreams to flourish, transforming our lives in ways that reflect our deepest desires. Letting go of doubt and fear is a vital step in the journey toward manifesting our desires and creating the life we truly want. Doubt and fear are powerful emotions that can act as significant barriers to success and fulfillment. They often stem from past experiences, societal conditioning, and our natural inclination to protect ourselves from potential harm or failure. However, clinging to these emotions can hinder our growth, limit our potential, and keep us trapped in a cycle of negativity. To manifest our desires effectively, we must cultivate the courage to release these limiting beliefs and embrace a mindset that supports our dreams. Doubt is a form of mental resistance that can undermine our confidence and erode our belief in our abilities. It whispers insidious messages that make us question our worthiness, skills, and chances of success. When doubt creeps in, it can distort our perception of reality, leading us to focus on what could go wrong rather than what could go right. This negative focus reinforces feelings of inadequacy and fear, creating a cycle that can be difficult to break. The key to overcoming doubt lies in recognizing it for what it is, a thought pattern that does not reflect our true potential. By consciously acknowledging doubt and reframing our thoughts, we can transform it into a catalyst for growth rather than a barrier. Fear often accompanies doubt, acting as a protective mechanism that keeps us from stepping outside our comfort zones. While fear is a natural response to uncertainty, it can also prevent us from pursuing our dreams and taking the necessary risks to achieve our goals. When we allow fear to dominate our thoughts and actions, we become paralyzed, stuck in a state of inaction. This state of being can feel safe, but it ultimately leads to stagnation and unfulfilled potential. To let go of fear, we must confront it head-on, examining its root causes and challenging the beliefs that fuel it. One effective way to release doubt and fear is through self-awareness and mindfulness. By becoming aware of our thoughts and emotions, we can begin to identify patterns that hold us back. Mindfulness encourages us to observe our doubts and fears without judgment, allowing us to recognize them as passing feelings rather than permanent truths. This practice helps create a sense of distance between ourselves and these emotions, reducing their power over us. When we learn to observe our thoughts without attachment, we can cultivate a sense of inner peace and clarity that enables us to move forward confidently. Another powerful technique for letting go of doubt and fear is visualization. When we visualize our desired outcomes, we create a mental image of success that can overshadow our fears. This process allows us to feel the emotions associated with achieving our goals, reinforcing a sense of belief and possibility. The more vividly we visualize our desired reality, the more real it becomes in our minds, and the more we can counteract feelings of doubt and fear. By immersing ourselves in positive imagery, we build a mental landscape that aligns with our aspirations, effectively diminishing the hold of negative emotions. Affirmations can also play a significant role in overcoming doubt and fear. By repeatedly stating positive affirmations that counteract our limiting beliefs, we can rewire our subconscious mind. These affirmations should be framed in the present tense, focusing on what we want to achieve and the qualities we embody. For example, instead of saying, "I am not afraid of failure," we can say, "I embrace challenges and trust my ability to succeed." Over time, these affirmations can help shift our mindset, replacing doubt and fear with confidence and resilience. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences is another effective strategy for letting go of doubt and fear. The people we associate with can significantly impact our mindset and emotional state. Engaging with supportive, optimistic individuals who believe in our potential can create an uplifting environment that counters negative emotions. Seeking mentorship or guidance from those who have overcome similar challenges can also provide valuable insights and encouragement. By surrounding ourselves with positivity, we create a fertile ground for growth and transformation. Letting go of doubt and fear is not an overnight process. It requires ongoing effort and commitment. There will be moments when doubt resurfaces or fear rears its head, and that's perfectly normal. The key is to develop tools and practices that empower us to navigate these feelings with grace and resilience. Embracing self-compassion is crucial. We must remind ourselves that everyone experiences doubt and fear at times. Acknowledging these emotions without judgment allows us to move through them more effectively. Ultimately, letting go of doubt and fear opens up a world of possibilities. When we free ourselves from these limiting beliefs, we create space for creativity, innovation, and new opportunities. We become more willing to take risks, pursue our passions, and fully engage in the process of manifestation. Releasing doubt and fear allows us to align with our true potential, empowering us to take bold steps toward our goals and dreams. By cultivating a mindset of trust, courage, and positivity, we can transform our lives and create the reality we desire. The subconscious mind is a powerful force that influences our thoughts, behaviors, and experiences. It operates beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, absorbing and processing information from our environment, emotions, and internal dialogue. One of the most important aspects of the subconscious mind is its ability to listen and respond to the messages we communicate, whether intentionally or unintentionally. This means that the thoughts we entertain, the beliefs we hold, and the language we use all shape our subconscious programming, ultimately determining the quality of our lives. From the moment we wake up to the time we go to sleep, the subconscious mind is continually processing information. It takes in everything around us, including our thoughts, feelings, conversations, and even the media we consume. Unlike the conscious mind, which can filter and critically analyze information, the subconscious accepts everything without question. This uncritical acceptance is what makes the subconscious so powerful. It does not differentiate between positive and negative inputs. As a result, it's crucial to be mindful of the messages we send to ourselves and the influences we allow into our lives. If we consistently think negative thoughts about ourselves, such as "I am not good enough" or "I will never succeed," our subconscious mind takes these statements as truths. Over time, these beliefs become deeply ingrained, shaping our self-image and influencing our behavior. When faced with opportunities, we may unconsciously sabotage ourselves because our subconscious is acting on the belief that we are unworthy. Conversely, when we engage in positive self-talk and affirmations such as "I am capable" or "I deserve success," we send empowering messages to our subconscious. This can help reprogram our beliefs and foster a sense of confidence and possibility. The language we use is particularly important in shaping the subconscious mind. Words carry energy and intention, and they can have a profound impact on how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Phrases that express limitation or negativity reinforce a mindset of scarcity, while words that convey abundance and possibility open up pathways for growth and success. For example, saying "I can't" versus "I will try" reflects two very different attitudes. The former shuts down options, while the latter opens up possibilities for learning and exploration. By choosing our words wisely, we can influence our subconscious to align with our goals and desires. The subconscious mind is particularly receptive during specific times, such as right before sleep and immediately upon waking. This is why practices like visualization and affirmations are so effective during these moments. As we relax into sleep or emerge from it, our conscious mind is less active, allowing the subconscious to absorb messages more readily. By intentionally using this time to reinforce positive beliefs and visualize our desired outcomes, we can significantly impact our subconscious programming and set the stage for success. Another crucial aspect of the subconscious mind is its role in emotional processing. Emotions are powerful signals that influence our subconscious beliefs. When we experience strong emotions, whether positive or negative, our subconscious takes note and stores these experiences. If we repeatedly associate certain situations with fear, anxiety, or doubt, our subconscious may create a pattern that dictates our reactions in the future. This is why it's essential to cultivate emotional awareness and process our feelings healthily. By acknowledging and releasing negative emotions, we prevent them from becoming entrenched beliefs that can sabotage our progress. The subconscious mind is highly influenced by repetition. Just as a seed needs time and nurturing to grow, our beliefs and patterns require consistent reinforcement to take root. This is why habits, whether constructive or destructive, are so difficult to change. When we repeatedly engage in certain thoughts or behaviors, we reinforce the corresponding neural pathways in our brains, making them stronger and more automatic over time. To create new habits or change existing beliefs, we must be patient and persistent, consistently reinforcing our desired changes until they become second nature. It's also important to understand that the subconscious mind has a vast capacity for creativity and intuition. When we quiet the conscious mind and tune into our inner self, we can access a wealth of insight and inspiration. This is why practices like meditation, mindfulness, and journaling can be so beneficial. They allow us to connect with our subconscious, fostering a deeper understanding of our desires and goals. By listening to our intuition and allowing our subconscious to guide us, we can make decisions that align with our true selves. The subconscious mind is always listening, absorbing the messages we send through our thoughts, words, and actions. It plays a critical role in shaping our beliefs, influencing our behaviors, and determining the outcomes we experience in life. By becoming more aware of the messages we communicate to ourselves and the influences we allow in, we can harness the power of the subconscious to create a reality that aligns with our deepest desires. By fostering a mindset of positivity, using empowering language, and engaging in practices that support our subconscious programming, we can unlock our potential and manifest the life we truly want. The idea that your desires are closer than you think is a profound truth that can radically alter how you approach your life and your goals. Often we perceive our desires as distant aspirations looming just out of reach. This perception can stem from societal conditioning, past experiences, and the nature of our internal dialogues. However, the reality is that our desires are not only achievable, but are often much nearer than we realize. Understanding this concept requires a shift in mindset, as well as an awareness of the mechanisms that govern manifestation and attraction. First and foremost, it is essential to recognize that the distance between us and our desires is often a construct of our own minds. When we set goals or visualize our dreams, it is common to think of them as external achievements we need to strive toward. This mindset can create feelings of lack, frustration, or hopelessness, especially if we encounter obstacles along the way. However, if we shift our perspective to view our desires as integral to our current reality, we begin to dissolve the barriers that separate us from them. This involves embracing the idea that we already possess everything we need within ourselves to manifest our dreams. One way to bridge the perceived gap between ourselves and our desires is by focusing on the emotions associated with those desires. When we imagine what it feels like to have achieved our goals, whether it be financial freedom, loving relationships, or personal growth, we tap into a powerful energy that aligns us with those outcomes. Emotions act as a magnet, attracting similar experiences into our lives. By cultivating feelings of joy, gratitude, and fulfillment, we send a signal to the universe that we are ready to receive our desires. This emotional alignment creates an energetic frequency that draws our goals closer to us. It is crucial to understand that the manifestation process often involves a series of steps that may not always be visible. Just because we cannot see immediate results does not mean that our desires are not on their way. The universe operates in a way that may require time and space for our dreams to materialize. Often the groundwork is laid beneath the surface with events, people, and opportunities aligning to bring our desires to fruition. By trusting in this process and remaining patient, we allow the universe to work on our behalf, drawing our goals closer without the interference of doubt or fear. Another important aspect of recognizing how close our desires are is the role of self-belief. When we truly believe in the possibility of our dreams, we activate a powerful force within us. This belief propels us into action and opens our eyes to opportunities that we may have otherwise overlooked. Self-doubt can create a fog that obscures the path to our desires, making them seem unattainable. On the other hand, confidence illuminates the way forward, allowing us to recognize the resources and support that are available to us. By nurturing a strong belief in our abilities and the reality of our desires, we make significant strides toward bringing them into existence. Taking inspired action is another essential component in closing the gap between ourselves and our desires. This means engaging in actions that feel aligned with our goals and values. Inspired action flows from a place of intuition and clarity rather than from fear or desperation. When we act with intention and purpose, we create momentum that propels us closer to our desires. It is important to remember that action does not always have to be monumental. Even small steps taken consistently can lead to significant changes over time. Surrounding ourselves with positive influences and supportive environments can also bring our desires closer. The people we interact with and the environments we immerse ourselves in can greatly impact our mindset and emotional state. When we are surrounded by individuals who uplift and inspire us, we are more likely to maintain a positive focus on our desires. Conversely, negative influences can sow seeds of doubt and fear, creating distance between us and our dreams. By consciously choosing to engage with positivity, we enhance our capacity to attract the experiences we seek. It is essential to practice gratitude for what we currently have in our lives. Gratitude shifts our focus from lack to abundance, allowing us to recognize that we are already rich in experiences, relationships, and opportunities. When we appreciate our present circumstances, we cultivate a sense of contentment that opens the door for more to flow into our lives. This mindset not only reinforces our belief in the proximity of our desires, but also invites new opportunities and blessings to manifest. The realization that your desires are closer than you think is a powerful mindset shift that can transform your approach to life. By focusing on the emotions associated with your goals, trusting in the manifestation process, nurturing self-belief, taking inspired action, surrounding yourself with positivity, and practicing gratitude, you can bridge the gap between yourself and your desires. This understanding empowers you to take ownership of your journey and embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. Your desires are not distant dreams, they are within your reach, waiting for you to claim them. The journey toward manifesting our desires is not merely a distant aspiration, but a profound realization that what we seek is often closer than we think. By recognizing that our subconscious mind is constantly listening, we empower ourselves to cultivate positive thoughts, beliefs, and emotions that align with our goals. Letting go of doubt and fear liberates us from the shackles of limitation, allowing us to embrace the possibilities that lie ahead. As we focus on what we want, instead of what we lack, we create an energetic environment ripe for attraction and abundance. Our imagination becomes the key to manifestation, enabling us to visualize and embody our desired outcomes. By living in the end, we anchor ourselves in the reality we wish to create, bridging the gap between our current state and our aspirations. By understanding that our desires are closer than we think, we cultivate a sense of trust and patience in the process of manifestation. This journey requires persistence and belief in ourselves as we engage in inspired action and surround ourselves with positivity and support. Practicing gratitude for our current circumstances not only enhances our emotional state, but also opens the door to new opportunities and experiences. We are the architects of our reality, and our thoughts, beliefs, and actions shape the world we experience. By embracing these principles, we can transform our lives and align with our true desires, stepping into a future filled with possibility and abundance. Your desires are not just dreams waiting to be fulfilled. They are a manifestation of your potential, waiting for you to take the steps necessary to bring them into your reality. Trust in yourself and know that everything you seek is already on its way to you.